Welcome to the Business Growth Spotlight, where we shine the light and talk with business leaders from all over the world to share their insights and expertise so we can all grow together. I am your host, Heidi Schock, and I'm the co-founder of the Spotlight to Scale Accelerator, where we drive revenue for companies by making sure they're seen as the authority and go-to expert in their industry versus just another product or service. And today, I am really excited to talk about this company and with my guest. And thank you for joining me, Jonathan. So I'm joined by Jonathan Schor with CodeMonkey. Welcome to the show, Jonathan.
Hi, thanks for inviting me.
Can you share some insights about who you are, your business, and your role within it?
Sure. I'm one of the co-founders of CodeMonkey, and I'm the CEO of the company since day one. We started the company 10 years ago, and it was started based on my personal experience of starting coding courses for children. Where I came up actually 20 years ago, where I came up with this game-based approach. I created those small games for my students to play during the lessons, but the games you play them by writing lines of code instead of by using a keyboard or a mouse or a game control. So you would control your character in the game through lines of code, and I saw that this approach was very successful. That was the initial inspiration for CodeMonkey, but only 10 years later, we were successfully able to start this as a startup company and scale it successfully globally. Nowadays, we have tens of millions of students learning to code with CodeMonkey all over the world.
So CodeMonkey is available in multiple languages and countries. So how do you all ensure the content remains culturally relevant, engaging for diverse student populations?
So the nice thing about it is, our target audience is young learners, or mainly elementary school students, also middle school and high school, but nothing older than that. And with children, the cultural differences, especially when teaching in a game-based approach, we noticed that they are less significant, or it's really amazing to see. I got to travel to visit CodeMonkey classes all over the world, really, any country you can think of, and given by our partners in different countries. And it's really exciting to see that when talking about games or game-based experiences for children, the same things work all over the world. We don't use a lot of language beside the coding itself, like very short explanation text sometimes that are required, but those are easily translatable to different languages. And this is done by our local partners in each country. And the game mechanics, the game design is good, the character, the animation, the level design in the game. The difficulty curve, those things work in one country, and we found that they work exactly the same with children in any other country in the world, whether it be China, Japan, countries in Africa, or Southeast Asia, Europe, or the United States.
And you all emphasize teaching real programming languages to children. So why did you choose this approach? I know you use all different approaches, but why did you choose that approach? And how does it benefit the young learners?
So I think initially we chose that approach, again, because, well, several reasons. One thing was honestly to differentiate, because when we started the company back in 2014, there was this trend of teaching kids to code, and a lot of companies came up with products that used block-based coding, like the visual coding blocks that you drag and drop to teach kids how to code. But we thought we could create an even more engaging experience for the learners through enabling them a user-friendly text-based coding environment. So most of the technologies that we developed during the first days of the company was around that, about creating a user-friendly, very intuitive code editor for learners. And we believed back then, and I still believe now, that if you come up with a technology and the user experience that makes that as easy as block-based coding, you can actually achieve higher engagement from the young learners, because they feel that they're doing sort of the real thing. They're actually typing code, which makes it even more exciting for them. Because kids are smart. They know kids nowadays, even before they go to school, they know how real codes look like. And I think they appreciate the fact that they're using real programming languages, when most kids their age are still just doing the drag and drop stuff.
And I know your program is to simplify things. So how does CodeMonkey support educators, especially those who may not have a coding background, in teaching programming to their students?
That's a great question. So we created CodeMonkey exactly in order to bridge that specific gap that you just mentioned. The fact that most teachers in elementary schools all over the world, they do not have background in coding and computer science, but they want to teach it over the schools, and the parent, they want the student to learn that. So we created CodeMonkey with those teachers in mind, the teachers that never seen a line of code. And the way we bridge that gap, first of all, we created the learner's experience sort of self-paced and intuitive. So kids on CodeMonkey can also learn on their own without the teacher being involved at all. And a big part of our business, by the way, is selling subscriptions to parents at home.
Oh, okay.
Know that the parents are not going to be available for their children most of the time. So we came up with all the features and hints and adaptive difficulty curve, learning curve, and thing that would allow any student to most of the time to be able to progress independently. We do know that in a classroom environment, in a school environment, in any environment really, when there's a grown-up involved in the learning process, students will achieve on average better result. They will go further, they will sustain a longer time on the platform, and they will achieve deeper understanding of more advanced computer science concepts. So we do invest a lot in teacher resources and tools for teachers. But again, we don't expect the teachers to have any background in computer science or coding. We don't expect them to take the time to go through those long courses themselves, because we know teachers are busy. But those all kind of resources that teachers can just use during the class or in preparation for the class, but very quickly we know that teachers are very busy. And that way they can be very effective facilitators of learning for their students without having gone through extensive training on computer science or software development themselves ahead.
I appreciate that personally because I'm a parent of two kids and I don't have any technology background. That is usually my challenge. My kids know way more than I do when it comes to technology. So I greatly appreciate, and I know there's many parents appreciate the fact that you make it simple for us. Because it's important that our kids are learning this and we're not all in a position to be able to have that background to teach it. So let's go there with the technology, Jonathan. With rapid technological changes, how does CodeMonkey stay current? And are there any plans to integrate emerging technologies like AI or virtual reality into the platform?
Some technologies are relevant, some are less. So, for example, you mentioned virtual reality and those type of technologies. We always keep in mind that CodeMonkey strategy was to target the bigger markets. For example, if we're talking about American schools, we're talking about public schools first. So that means that the product, both in terms of pricing but also implementation, there needs to be a very easy bar for a school to implement it. So we wouldn't want to complicate the experience with expensive hardware, for example. So we wouldn't do that just to stay current. Like what we do emphasize, obviously, is staying up to date with adapting ourselves to the changing needs of the market. And for one example for this now is the big trend around AI. Obviously, it's also very significant in the K-12 system, in the school system, and we do that through this affects the CodeMonkey product in two different aspects. So one of them, like there's a growing demand in teaching kids about AI, and CodeMonkey, as a leading provider of computer science curriculum, obviously is in a good position to address that need as well. So we've created courses that are specifically about computer science, courses that help teachers learn about AI and teach kids about AI while keeping the same game-based, intuitive, self-paced approach that always worked well for CodeMonkey. So this is our new AI courses. And another thing is that AI is becoming an essential tool for coders. I do not think that AI is going to replace coders, but I do believe that coders that know how to leverage AI tools to be more effective will replace coders that do not. So in our more advanced coding courses, the courses we're creating now for high schools, for example, about Python, the coding environment that we include with the course for the children already utilize those. They call it AI sort of autopilot or AI assistant that help the student code the same way that coders at CodeMonkey or any other company that deals with software development, the tools that we use, that our coders use, they now have those AI capabilities that just allow coders to be more effective, efficient, productive. So we include them for our learners, and that way we get them used to leveraging AI in their coding process already from their first steps in the space.
Jonathan, you said you're a co-founder of CodeMonkey and CEO. What have been some challenges that you've faced during your growth? Because you've been around for a while now. So what have been some challenges that you faced as a startup and then as you've been growing and scaling, and how did you overcome them?
So really there were different challenges in different stages of the company. Obviously, in the beginning, fundraising was the main challenge. Like you have nothing, you have like a prototype of a product or like a very small version, free version of a game that you're posting online. Like students and teachers and parents always loved CodeMonkey from day one, but then the first challenge is to persuade investors that this could also turn into a big profitable business. So I think that was the first challenge, and this was especially challenging because we're catering to children. So children at schools, selling to schools is a long sales cycle, and there's a lot of regulation and red tape, and it's just a long sales process. There's only one usually sales season during the school year cycle. So this is one challenge when trying to cater to children at home. Then the main challenge is that kids don't have credit cards. So even if you created something that they like, they cannot buy themselves. They have to go to the parents, persuade them that they should buy it. Or if you go the other way around, the parents like it, they buy it. But if they don't manage to get the kids to use that, they will not renew their subscription. So selling educational products to children has its unique challenges.
I have my son all the time. He's always coming to me, Mom, I need $9. Mom, I need $20. Mom, I need. I'm like, what are you buying now? And it's
Yeah.
always something on his computer. So I totally get that. So let's talk about the marketing then. Since we're flowing right into that piece, how is it that I know with the school systems, that's one way of marketing. You have to obviously, build those relationships, and it's a little slower of a process. When it comes to the public, though, targeting the parents and the children and marketing to them, what's been the most effective marketing methods that you've found?
For parents, good question. I think it's about what worked for us is building a very strong brand that parents know and trust. And we've actually established much of that brand value, I think, in the school system. So in the early days, we were still doing that. We were offering a lot of value to schools for free. We call that the mini courses, CodeMonkey mini courses, the CodeMonkey teacher trial. You can really get a lot of value from CodeMonkey in a school environment for free. And this really helped in building the brand. We made sure to make this free tier of CodeMonkey available on main website that teachers are usually on, like places like BrainPop or Code.org. And this really, I wouldn't say overnight, but very quickly, this is the way we want, like I think, yeah, millions of students getting exposed to CodeMonkey, having a very positive experience with the product through school, through the free version that we provided school during the first year of the company. So they came home, they talked about it with their parents, they showed them the thing that they created on CodeMonkey, the little games, and very quickly a lot of parents became aware of CodeMonkey in a very positive manner. So now when parents do reach that point where they want their son or their daughter to do some coding activities at home in the afternoon or weekends, CodeMonkey is usually the first or one of the first options to come to the parents' mind.
And can you share with us how effective strategic partnerships are for you? Because if there's someone listening that's like, oh wow, this is an amazing product, maybe I know someone or another company that could create and introduce you. So what would a strategic partnership look like for you? And are you looking for them currently?
So that also depends on the stage of the company. During the first year, when it was mainly about achieving exposure, the most strategic partnership that we had didn't create any revenues for the company. It was completely like, for example, I've mentioned code.org and BrainPop. Those were the two main websites that teachers visit searching for educational activities or specifically for computer science activities. We just the partnership with those companies or was simply we're allowing them to let students use the free version of CodeMonkey on their website, and that's it. That's a partnership. We don't get we don't get like backlinks, we don't get user information, we definitely don't get any money for it. We only get exposure, but this was priceless in retrospect. Nowadays, when the company is no longer a startup company, it got acquired, and the brand is well established now. It's about creating profits and revenue and profits. So I would say the most strategic partnerships are with for-profit education companies that run learning centers in their countries, and they use CodeMonkey as their computer science platform and curriculum, and sometimes even their coding brand for their learning centers. And those are, this is while selling to school is still our main business. Onboarding those after-school learning center partners is the quickest way to increase the business, in big steps, like you onboard an exclusive partner for Japan or for China. Those can have, a million of students in just one partner. So this is a very effective way of increasing the business size.
Well, if we had a magic wand, Jonathan, and I could wave it, and there was one problem that you'd want, or one issue that you're having that you could just wave the magic wand over and solve right now, what would that be? Just for like other companies that are going through their own growth challenges, if they hear that you're having one and this is what you'd want to, it kind of like everybody else can learn.
Yeah, so I guess like if I had a magic wand, I would wanna be or like sort of get notified whenever somewhere on the globe some decision makers are having a conversation about launching a computer science strategy for their after school learning center or their public school system if it's a government, and just to know when is this opportunity being created where, because we're a small company, we can afford to maintain all those relationship and dialogues all the time with all the potential clients that are out there for us. in every different part of the globe. So yeah, I guess this is what my magic wand would yeah would do for me. Like,
Well, if anybody out there can help Jonathan with that, let us know. Reach out to him, and we're going to get that information to you in a minute. My last question for you, Jonathan, is what is well, oh, okay. What are your growth goals for 2025? So I have actually two questions. For over the next 6 months, what are your growth goals?
so product wise, we're expanding in two directions now. One is with the age group, so we're gonna offer a bundle for high schools, specifically for high schools for the first time, because so far we were elementary and middle school, and we had one course, sort of soft launch for high schools, but now it's turning into a full bundle for high schools. So this is one expansion trajectory, that we're doing with the age groups. And the other one, we're expanding into more subjects. So we're still around the computer science realm, but if it was mainly coding so far, now with the growing demand for AI and also for digital literacy, online safety, all those kind of things that are not new, but they're now being sort of revisited because of everything that's happening with AI. So we're creating also different bundle, a separate bundle that all kind of those computing related courses, but that are not coding courses. So they're all about AI, data science, digital citizenship, digital safety, stuff like that. So those are the two new things that we're doing this year, 2025.
That's amazing. Congratulations on the launch into the new market. That's exciting for sure.
Thanks.
And the last question is if over the next 12 months, if we were to revisit this conversation in a year, Jonathan, we were able to bring you back on, what would a successful year look like for you all?
So going back to those two new offerings that we have, I would measure success with the level of penetration that we've achieved in monetizing those two new products, the high school product and the digital literacy and AI product. If those created a significant uptick in sales for us already during 2025, then I'm very happy.
Amazing. So, Jonathan, how can people reach you and connect with you?
LinkedIn is the easiest, I guess. I'm Jonathan Schor on LinkedIn. Yeah.
And your website, codemonkey.com, right?
Of course,
Uh,
maybe not me personally, but it's also very easy to get eventually to me personally. But yeah,
yeah.
codemonkey.com, www.codemonkey.com, or if you're just shooting us an email to info@codemonkey.com.
Perfect. We have all of Jonathan's links and information, also his bio, all the good things inside of the show notes as well. So definitely connect with him on LinkedIn, message him. He's such a nice guy, great guy. Connect with him. And if you have children like I do and you want to learn more, reach out to him. And he's hitting the high school market soon too. Those are my daughters in 10th grade. My son's moving into ninth. So hopefully they'll see you. See you soon. So thank you so much, Jonathan. Is there anything that you'd like to share that I didn't get to ask you or we didn't touch on?
I don't think so. Check out like next month. Check out our new AI and digital literacy pathways and the new high school bundles from CodeMonkey. That's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, definitely connect with him, Jonathan Schor, on LinkedIn, codemonkey.com, or send him an email. Thanks again, Jonathan, for being here. Thank you for listening. And if you're looking to increase your visibility and be seen as the authority in your space and you want to know how to do that, go ahead and download our Spotlight to Scale blueprint at spotlighttoscale.com/blueprint. And again, go to LinkedIn, connect with Jonathan, message him, reach out to him, and go check out this cool products over at codemonkey.com. Thanks for Jonathan for being here. Thank you for listening to us on the Business Growth Spotlight, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Awesome.